all tonight. Thank you all for having us. My name is Michael Stirling, and my life started in an orphanage. And I like to start my story by saying that because it reminds me that when I was born, I didn't have a family. And it reminds me that somebody intervened in my life to make a difference. And I think that's what public service is supposed to be about. I think that's what politics is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about making a difference in people's lives every day. And that's why I decided to run for mayor. As the executive director of the workforce agency, I got to see the stories of men and women in our city who were struggling every day to make ends meet. When they talk about income inequality in our city, I saw the people at the bottom of that income inequality ladder. People who were making less than $16,000 a year, people who were struggling to provide for their families. And I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to make a difference, just as someone did for me 34 years ago, a dedicated social worker who decided that she was going to make a difference in my life. And so I decided that I was going to run for mayor of Atlanta to make a difference in our city. I'm happy to be here tonight, and I look forward to serving as your 60th mayor. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I'm Mary Norwood, and I've had the privilege of representing all of the city, all of you, for 3 terms on Atlanta City Council. My work at City Council has been addressing issues large and small for constituents all over this town. I understand the communities. I have embraced every community across the city for years, and I want to see every community in this city enjoy the prosperity and have the amenities that some parts of the city have had and other parts of the city have not. So I am committed to bringing you a responsive, transparent, accountable government so that you will have the quality of life that you deserve in this town. I have been protecting citizens and preserving communities for decades. I want to do that as your next mayor. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Peter Amon. I would like to earn your trust and your support to be the 60th mayor of Atlanta. I was born to 2 parents who believed deeply in civic life and in civic service. And in such service, you could make a difference. My mom was a grade school teacher who went on to be on the local library board and ultimately the local public school board where I went to school. My dad was on the township commission. And really from birth through past when I went to college, I saw them strive to help improve things in our town. And I learned from them the importance of service and what cities and towns could do to improve a community. I went on to Duke University, ultimately got an MBA as well. Spent most of my professional career, over 25 years in the private sector in business, helping large companies improve their customer service and operations. My time with the City of Atlanta included many years helping the Franklin administration with free consulting work, and as was mentioned, serving as the Chief Operating Officer, where I was able to serve and run on a day-to-day basis the city operating departments for the administration. I very much look forward to the discussion tonight, and thank you all for being here.
Well, good evening. Good evening. I'm Cesar Mitchell. For me, it's all about promises made and promises kept. I'm running for mayor because I want to serve as your mayor, not be your mayor, pretend to be your mayor, act like your mayor. I want to serve as your mayor. And I want this city to meet the incredible promise it has in store for our young people, to fulfill and to maintain the promise that we've made to senior citizens and our elders who've lived here a lifetime and sacrificed. And we're going to do that in 2 ways when I'm mayor. Number one, we're going to make sure that Atlanta is a city of opportunity. So if you're a young person growing up in this city, you know that when you wake up in the morning and you work hard and you exercise discipline, that this city is going to work hard for you to ensure that you get a quality education, and that education can lead to a career, can lead to college, and can lead to entrepreneurship. We're going to fight for quality of life, making sure that if you are a senior citizen, you know that you can go into the neighborhood at any time and know that you're going to be safe. If you are a young woman with a family, you know that you can be in your community and be safe. You're going to know that you're in a neighborhood that you can be proud of because it's clean and green. You're going to know that you can get around this city and know that you can get from point A to point B to work and to play, and it not cost you the entire day or a whole pocket full of money. As your mayor, I want to make sure we're working together. And as your mayor, I'm going to lead entrepreneurially. but also I'm going to lead with you. So I look forward to this conversation. Thank you, Dr. McGaha and the entire team here at Atlanta Metropolitan State College for having this conversation. I look forward to it. And again, I want to serve as your mayor.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm John Eves, and I want to be your mayor. Dr. Greer read a very exhaustive resume about my accomplishments and my background. One thing that she did not mention is that I'm a former instructor here at Atlanta Metropolitan State College, so I feel like I have home field advantage. So for the past 10 years, I've served as your chairman of Fulton County government. You've trusted me. I got 63% of the vote. 80,000 people in the city of Atlanta voted for me as chairman in 2014. Because of you, we've done great things in this county because of my leadership, saving Grady Hospital, tremendous criminal justice reform, bringing economic development throughout our county, leadership in terms of transportation splosh, a $655 million transportation splosh for North and South Fulton counties. Doing all of that corruption-free. In July of this year, Fulton County got the highest award among the National Association of Counties for transparency, ethics, and integrity under my watch. Friends, I'm running for mayor because City Hall needs an overhaul. It's plagued with corruption. Today we announced the third bribery charge. I'm ashamed of this, and we deserve better. So I'm bringing new leadership to the city that's ethically based, that's filled with integrity. We're going to improve our neighborhoods, improve public safety, improve partnerships with our public education system, but more importantly, restoring public trust back into government. Once again, I'm John Eves, and I plan to be your next mayor.
Good evening. My name is Keisha Lance Bottoms, and thank you for having me this evening. Atlanta is a tale of two cities, and I am the only candidate who has lived and worked in both those places. My bio mentioned that my father was an entertainer. He was a world-renowned entertainer. Elton John got his start playing behind my father. But when I was 8 years old, my father made some very bad decisions because he didn't have many options. My father went to prison. And after that, I saw the other side of Atlanta. I saw what it was like to grow up with a mother, working 2 jobs, returning to school at night, just to keep food on our table. But I also saw the opportunities within this city. And because I was surrounded by a beloved community that showed me something much better than my circumstances, I was able to graduate from Douglas High School, FAMU magna cum laude, Georgia State University College of Law, serve as a judge, city council for 8 years, and executive director of the Recreation Authority. But because I also remembered that beloved community that surrounded me when all else around me was failing, when I sit at the table, I sit with confidence in the same way in the boardroom as I do at the table with a grandmother and bankhead. It's the reason I championed the creation of displacement-free zones to address gentrification. It's the reason I created Invest in Southwest, so the Southwest community would not be left behind with the development throughout the city. There are 4 reasons I am running for mayor. Their names are Lance, Langston, Lennox, and Lincoln. They are my 4 children. I want this city to be a beloved community for them, but it cannot be if it's not for your families and your communities as well. I ask that you join me in keeping Atlanta moving forward and making sure that we leave no one behind. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Willard, and Dr. Greer, thank you so much for the introduction. I apologize for being late. I had another event prior to this. And I really appreciate that you read all of our bios. And you did mention that I was working for a League of Conservative Voters at one point, and I have to make it very, very clear that was League of Conservation Voters. I don't think conservative, so it's quite all right. I wasn't meaning to call you out. I just, the one, let me tell you, I needed to be. Listen, I've been on the Atlanta City Council. I've been Atlanta City Council president. I'm running because I'm fighting for ATL, affordability, transportation, and livability. This election is about how we grow, who gets to be here, who gets to benefit, and what we look like after 25 years and we triple the size of our population. Affordability is critical, particularly in this neighborhood. The displacement is real. Every time I walk through the neighborhood, people come forward and say, my house just sold, I don't know where I'm gonna live, what am I gonna do? Transportation is a nightmare. I probably would have been here 15 minutes earlier if we had any kind of solution to transportation, and I've got one. I'm gonna put 5 lanes of streetcar down simultaneously. We've passed the tax, we've approved the lines, it's time to go. Livability means we've got a partnership with the school system to make sure that as mayor, I'm building healthy communities around our schools that aren't doing well, that we're cleaning up our parks, that we're bringing art and culture, and that we're having a clean, beautiful, well-run city, and that's why I'm fighting for ATL, affordability, transportation, and livability, and thank you so much for being here tonight.
Good evening. My name is Vincent Ford, and I'm running for mayor. Johnny Eves is not the only one who feels as if they have home field advantage. I've taught here in some summers in the social science division, and coming back on this campus after working with Dr. Magaha here at Atlanta Metropolitan College and over with Atlanta Technical College to get the kind of funding needed to support the curriculum and the students. $45 million of state budget money to build buildings so we can build young people's futures. So I'm glad to be here. The reason I'm running for mayor of the city of Atlanta is because I think that City Hall has lost its way. While City Hall has languished, Atlanta has become #1 in income inequality and immobility. A child born at Grady Hospital this afternoon has less chance than any place in this country of moving from poverty to the middle class. That's income inequality, but it's also income immobility. The American dream, the Atlanta dream, has always been that a child, whether they're born in poverty or not, can always do better than their parents. That's not the case when a child only has 4% chance of moving into the middle class. And it's not unrelated to the issue of the day. Today, as has been mentioned, a high City Hall official, the former procurement chief, pled guilty to federal charges. Anytime you see income inequality and immobility in a city hall that neglects parts of town, you will also see corruption. What we need is a city hall and a mayor that cares about people, that cares about neighborhoods, who understands that Atlanta's great not because of skyscrapers and stadiums, but because of neighborhoods and people. That's why I'm running for mayor. That's why I need your support. Thank you.